Hey guys, it's me. Somebody recommended that we talk about choosing the right gun for concealed carry. Now, understand first that I've got an itch right here. Understand first that I'm not an expert. I don't teach classes. I don't do anything like that. So what I'm offering you right now is my personal experience based on my training and knowledge from being a cop for a long time. And that sounded like kind of a courtroom testimony, didn't it, based on my training and experience? Um, a lot of people have a tendency when they go buy a gun, especially a carry gun, they want the most high-speed, low-drag piece of equipment they can find. They tend to want an auto pistol because they're cool, and they are. Um, but is it always the best choice? If you're an experienced shooter, if you've been shooting for a while, if you've had a lot of time behind a gun, especially an auto pistol, and you know what to expect, then an auto pistol is probably a good choice for you. I think the caliber and the size probably depends more on the shooter than anything else. But, well, as far as concealability and things of that nature are concerned. But for the average person who has a concealed carry permit, who doesn't get to shoot all the time, who doesn't have the experience or training that some of us have, then I think your best bet's probably a revolver. Um, I carry still to this day this. I mean, there's nothing special about this. It's a gun. It's got 5 shots. Um, it's a Smith 642. It's a great gun. Comes in 38. I think you can get the same gun in 357, which will allow you to shoot 357 and 38 special. This gun will hold a plus P round, which generally speaking, in a concealed carry type of a situation where the confrontation isn't going to be at any great distance, as a matter of fact, it's most likely to be within arm's reach. That's plenty. 38's plenty. Why do I like a revolver? Because it works. Simply put, it works. It works every time. With auto pistols, you have moving parts. And when you have moving parts, then you have more things to go wrong. If you need to come out of your holster, get on target, or get into your target, depending upon how close, you get that first shot off, and if it's a contact shot, well, bam, your slide's locked to the rear, you've got a stovepipe. Now you're holding a paperweight. Unless you've got the ability, the presence of mind, that muscle memory to push back, tap, rack, bang, those are the things that training affords you. With the average shooter, the average person who's carrying a gun, who hasn't practiced that time after time after time, an auto pistol may not be the best choice. With the revolver, it doesn't matter if you've got that gun buried in somebody's stomach or if you're standing off 5 feet. When you pull that trigger, something bad's coming out the open end, and that's what you want to happen. And you know that when you pull that trigger, if you pull it 4 times or 5 times, every time something bad's going to happen, and that's what you want. That's not to say that you can't have misfires with revolvers, and you can't have failures with revolvers, because you can. But I think it's far less likely because there's far less moving parts and there's far less things to go wrong. It is like we touched on a minute ago, the caliber and the size of gun. I'm good with a 38. I don't even know that you have to carry a plus P. I don't even know that you have to carry anything that hot. I think hitting somebody up close and personal with a 38 round 2-3 times is probably going to be able to get you out of whatever you've gotten yourself into, or whatever somebody's put you into, and give you the opportunity to get away. Because in a concealed carry type of a situation, that's what your goal is. Your goal isn't to your goal is to win the fight, your goal is to survive, and your goal is to get away. It's not a take the hill type of a situation. It's to get yourself and your family out of a bad spot. Uh, again, I think that carrying an auto pistol is it's empty, is a fine choice for people that have practiced with them. But shooting, like anything else, is a culmination of your training and your muscle memory, and it's important to train like you're going to fight, and fight like you're going to train, or fight like you train. I carry that little 1911 quite a bit, and I know that it's 45, and I know that that's usually one shot is going to take care of what I needed to take care of. But I've, through the years, had enough training and experience to know that if I contact shoot somebody, then there's a very strong likelihood that I'm going to have to push them off, back up, tactical L, tap, rack, get back on target, and see if we need to go again. If we do, we will. But again, for the novice or the average, or the what's the word I'm looking for here, casual carrier, I think a revolver is a good choice. And there's a lot of companies making a lot of great guns. Smith's got this little 642. Ruger's got the LCR with the two-stage trigger, and really lightweight. You're basically, at this point, you're not really carrying anything more than the weight of the ammunition itself, because those guns weigh next to nothing. That Smith is a little beefier than some, but it's a reliable handgun, and I know that when I pull the trigger, it's going to work. It's not anything you want to take out and shoot for any great length of time, because it's a handful, but it's a good, reliable little gun. I'd love to hear your input, and let me know what you carry, off duty or concealed. And one more thing about concealed carry, and I just happened to think of this. A guy asked me the other day, as a law enforcement professional, do you think it makes a cop's job easier when you've got responsible citizens carrying guns responsibly, with the proper certification and training? I don't know that it makes a cop's job any easier to have armed citizens, because at the end of the day, we're still going to have to respond to the call. We'll just be responding to a different type of call, but I mean, we still got to show up. So is it making our job easier? No. I personally, this is me talking, I personally love the fact that people take it upon themselves to go out and get a concealed carry handgun, because that's their right, number one. The Second Amendment affords them that right. And two, it shows that they're willing to take charge of themselves and ensure that they and their family are protected. And I think that's a wonderful thing. A lot of times that I can think of, we'd have to go to somebody's house, whether, domestic dispute or whatever kind of disturbance that you show up to, and the first question out of my mouth is, are there any guns in the house? Well, that gets a lot of people's hackles up. Well, you got no right to take my guns. You got no right to know. I don't want to take your gun. I got no interest in taking your gun. I may want to hold on to it for a few minutes until I leave. I may ask you to, let me unload it. So, the least you can do is hit me with it, because the bottom line is, I don't want to get shot while I'm at your house. I don't want anything bad to happen to me, and I don't want any mistakes to be made, any accidents to happen while I'm at your house. Because if you don't say something, a cop comes in your house for whatever reason, and you've got a gun on you, you've got a gun tucked away somewhere. Well, worst case scenario, you start digging around in your waistband or something, we're already at a disadvantage because we're in your home. We're already nervous because we're in your home, and we don't know what you've got. We don't know what your intent is. people start digging around and turn around with a gun, well, yeah, that's not a good situation for us or for that person, because we don't know what the intent is. And chances are you're going to get a couple of warnings. Put the gun down, put the gun down. Uh, Again, we have no interest in taking your guns away from you. That's not our intent. Our intent is to keep us safe and to keep you safe. And if that means for the few minutes that we're at your home or dealing with you on a traffic stop that we have to hold on to your gun or unload your gun, don't take offense at it. It's just us trying not to get shot. And we're taking every precaution that we can. And the times that I've had to do that, the conversations usually ended in, hey, this is a great piece here. Where'd you get this? How long have you had it? You shoot it a lot? I like guns. I like talking about guns. So, if somebody pulls out a, no-name brand generic gun, I'm probably not going to want to talk about it. But, or maybe we'll give them some advice on where they can go to step up into the better stuff. But, again, from a cop standpoint, armed citizens are a great thing, and I think that an armed society is a polite society, and all those other cliches. What was the other one I had the other day? An unarmed citizen is merely a subject. But we're not, as law enforcement officers, interested in taking your guns away from you or anything of that nature. We're simply interested in going home at the end of the shift, and not hurting anybody without reason. So don't get all wrapped around the axle if the cop says, hey, do you mind if I hold on to that till we're done conducting business? Because that's all it is. It's just a matter of him getting to go home and see his family. And chances are he or she, would be interested in talking to you about your gun after everything's all said and done. So there's that. That's just some advice from an old man. Agree or disagree, let me know what you think. I'm always interested in hearing other people's opinions. But to kind of wrap things up, concealed carry, if you're the casual shooter, then I would look strongly at getting a revolver to carry with you on a day-to-day basis, simply because you know it's going to work. If you've got some more training and experience, then pick yourself a good, reliable auto pistol that is gonna operate when you need it to operate. And don't sweat the cops taking your guns. That's not what we're there for. So there's that. And thanks for paying attention. If you did, thanks for checking it out. If you got any questions or concerns or comments, go ahead and post them. And there's that. I know that wasn't the fiery speech you were hoping for, but that's my 2 cents. Maybe I'll think of something to get bent out of shape about, and we'll talk about that next. Oh, before I leave, we got to be on Gun Owners of America Radio the other day with Bill Frady as the host of that. Good show. It's just starting to pick up steam. They've only had 5 episodes so far. We got to be on episode number 2. If you go to gunownersofamerica.com, there will be a link there where you can go and watch the show. It's a webcast. It's pretty good. It's 2 hours from 6 to 8, and I've enjoyed listening. I enjoyed my time on the radio with the host. It was pretty neat, good experience. Didn't say anything too incredibly stupid. So there we go. And thanks for listening in. We'll see you soon.